Okay, so continuing on here with this editing process, we're at the point in our video where we want to have one of our screen capture videos appear over our slides, and we're at the point in our audio where Jamie stops talking about the point and click features and I start talking about the PrimoPress framework. So I want to get to the point of the audio where I start talking about the PrimoPress framework, and I'm just going to apply a split to save my place on the track. So let's get to that point.
Your mouse seriously.
All of our themes.
Okay, so it's right about there. So I'm going to click on this audio track, tap S for split. Now I'm going to split my my video to the point where this animation starts to happen, and I'm going to move it further down the timeline.
Seriously.
All of our themes come preloaded.
Okay, so I'm going to back up here, get to the point where just point and click baby is good. Tap S, and then just drag, the part we don't need further down. We'll move it back later. And now we're going to get to the point in our audio where I start talking about the framework, and I'm just going to delete the portion of the just point and click baby slide that we don't want. Now I'm going to just click and drag down our framework audio, our framework video that we want to appear. And again, I'm going to get rid of this audio by ungrouping them and then deleting the audio. I'm going to make our clips intersect about 1/10 of a second for that smooth transition that we want. So let's see what it looks like now.
Seriously.
All of our themes come preloaded with the PrimoPress framework. The PrimoPress framework is a user-friendly theme options panel that lets you custom.
Okay, so you can see that that video is not long enough for the amount of time that I'm talking about the framework. So what I'm going to do is just do some, I might have to stretch this clip out a little bit to make it slower like we did with the previous screen capture video. So let's keep listening.
Customize the look of your theme with a simple point-and-click user interface. Want to change your website's logo? No problem.
Okay, so now I start talking about the logo, and I actually have a separate screen capture video for that portion of the audio. So I only need to extend this clip to right about here. So I'm going to make that point on my audio, and then just hold down Control and just click and drag this video so it actually takes longer to play. So let's see what that looks like.
Seriously.
All of our themes come preloaded with the PrimoPress framework. The PrimoPress framework is a user-friendly theme options panel that lets you customize the look of your theme with a simple point-and-click user interface.
Okay, so that might be a little bit too slow for my taste. I can't remember exactly what I did on the other video to get that perfect, but since we're just doing a demo here, I think I'll leave it just like that. But what we want to do now is, for one, move our slides further down to make room here so we can work. And I'm going to continue listening to my audio until we get to the point where I stop talking about the logo. So let's do that.
Want to change your website's logo? No problem. Just use the built-in image upload panel and you're literally done in just a few seconds. Want to change the color of your site?
Okay, so we're going to back up a little bit.
Want to change the...
Okay, so that's where we start talking about the color. So I'm going to trim the audio there. And I'm going to click and drag the logo clip to the part where we talk about the logo. And I'm going to get rid of this audio here by ungrouping them and deleting the audio. So let's listen to this. This looks like we might have to actually trim this video to have it fit in a small space where we're actually talking about the logo. So first of all, I'm going to have them overlap and see what it looks like.
Your interface. Want to change your website's logo? No problem. Just use the built-in image upload panel and your...
Okay, so you can see right there, I want to split out that portion of my, where you can see my computer files there. So let's go ahead and just trim that out because we don't really need that anyways.
Upload panel and your...
Okay, so I'm going to trim that out.
Just use the built-in image upload panel and you're literally done in just a few seconds. Want to change the...
Okay, so this is where we basically want our logo or want our clip to end. So I'm going to shorten this clip just a little bit, and I'll shorten this one just a little bit just to speed them up. And that should fit nicely in that space. Let's see what happens now.
Want to change your website's logo? No problem. Just use the built-in image upload panel and you're literally done in just a few seconds. Want to change the color of your site from green?
So that's not perfect, but it'll get us by for this demo video. Now I could spend a bunch of time, tweaking this and getting it just perfect, but we're just going to leave it like that for now. Now we're going to listen to the part where I start talking about the color and then drag down the color screen capture video.
Want to change your website's logo?
And go forward a little bit here.
Just a few seconds. Want to change the color of your site from green to say red? Easy, just use the simple color picker and change the color of your site in just a few seconds. What about
okay, so let me back up a little bit here. This is where I stopped talking about the color. So let me drag down the color clip. I'm going to ungroup the audio from the video, delete. And you can see this clip is pretty long, so we're going to have to trim a lot of it. So let's just see what it looks like first before we do anything.
Want to change the color of your site from green to say red? Easy, just use the simple color picker and change the color of your site and just...
Okay, so we do want this. We want to show them the color picker. So we'll just get rid of this beginning portion of the clip. So we'll just show the color picker.
Want to change the color of your site from green to say red? Easy, just use the simple color picker and change the color of your site in just a few seconds. What about text?
Okay, so that's pretty good. That's about where it ends right there. So that's pretty close. So I'm going to just split and get rid of that ending portion of the clip that we don't need, and I'm going to hold down Control and just shorten our clip a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. Actually, we forgot to overlap them, so let's zoom in there. Overlap them about 1/10 of a second. Go back to the end, Control, drag.
Seconds. Want to change the color of your site from green to say red? Easy, just use the simple color picker and change the color of your site in just a few seconds. What about text? Have you ever wanted to...
Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now we're going to start talking about the text. So I'm going to listen to that point in the audio.
What about text? Have you ever wanted to change the way a particular font looked on your site? Normally you'd have to wade through hundreds of lines of CSS code to change something like this. But with our themes, you can change the font family size and even color of any font on your site with just a few clicks. It really is that simple. Okay,
so this is where we need to have our font screen capture video end. So I'm going to mark it on the timeline. And then just click and drag our font video down. You can see it's pretty short there. So we might have to, or we will have to do something about that. I'm going to ungroup them, delete the audio. Let's see what our font footage looks like.
What about text? Have you ever wanted to change the way a particular font looked on your site? Normally you'd have to wade through hundreds of lines of CSS code to change something.
Okay, so I can see that we can actually move this portion, or everything from after where I circled this featured menu text, everything after it I can actually move down further down the timeline. So let me just go ahead and get to that point where we start panning down the page, which is right about there. Trim my clip. And I'm going to listen to the audio until we start talking about how to actually change the text.
Change the way a particular font looked on your site. Normally you'd have to wade through hundreds of lines of CSS code to change something like this. But with our themes you can
Okay, so now this is where we want that to happen, which is right around there.
Hundreds of lines of CSS code to change something like this. But with our themes you can change the...
Okay, so now we just need to fill in this gap here with a screenshot of us circling this text here. So I'm going to take a screenshot and then just click and drag our screenshot in to fill that space. Now let's see what it looks like.
In just a few seconds. What about text? Have you ever wanted to change the way a particular font looked on your site? Normally you'd have to wade through hundreds of lines of CSS code to change something like this. But with our themes you can change the font family size and even color of any font on your site with just a few clicks. It really is that simple. Okay,
so now we want to just make sure our clips overlap a little bit. We didn't do that again here, so I'm just going to click and drag so that they overlap. And just going to click and drag that over about 1/10 of a second.
2 seconds. What about text?
So I'm just going to lengthen my screen capture shot there.
Have you ever wanted?
And it looks like we're pretty good to go. So I'm going to save this video, and we're getting to around 10 minutes long here, so I'm going to stop the video and continue the process of editing this video in the next video. I'll see you over there.